Alright, now to continue the second part of this.
The bullshittery.
I demand order.
We came you guys came into the shop, and you now have met with Serenity again, who isn't, from what you can tell, entirely thrilled about seeing you two again.
Okay.
That's rude.
Well, considering what happened, I don't blame her.
Yeah, same. I just say...
Even though her is me in the situation, and I don't blame me for thinking what me think about what you do.
Yeah. So Muffin says, show her the thing, I just say, so, for this, I'm going to have to pull out my sword, but do not be afraid, I'm not going to attack you. It's part of the sword now.
That doesn't sound very convincing, but alright.
Promise, I will place it down on the table.
By the way, Dangus.
Yes?
My Echo is outside the shop.
Technically, you and Ildrad are still outside of the shop, too.
Yes, but my Echo is the most important part.
Well, no, I said
I walked in.
Well, the way I described it, no, it didn't happen that way yet. So you guys will come in here.
Well, I guess I'm walking in now.
Yeah. So anyway.
Dangus, my Echo climbs up to the sign of the store.
Oh God.
And he changes the name from Phantasma to Fat Man Ass.
Why?
God damn it.
He just takes a few letters out and just jumbles the other letters around and then scribbles the extra S at the end.
Jesus Christ. Well, for now.
Go back.
Anyway, so your Echo doing that as you and Ildrad decide to enter the store, as well as Liebe is pulling out the blade to show Serenity what he has come across.
Apsilon just face palms after seeing what the Echo is doing and goes inside the shop.
So, as you put down the blade, Liebe, you hear the other two enter from behind you, and Serenity looks up and goes, "Oh, welcome. How can I help you?"
Bear with us. Don't get too cozy.
Oh, they're with you. How
Sorry.
How very
Why would
wonderful.
a shop owner get cozy with patrons?
Don't let her use your wily ways, especially on that one. He's a cleric.
She does not abstain from interpersonal relationships.
She just kind of stares blankly and looks back at the blade.
We're sorry for constantly bringing chaos into your shop.
I'm gonna switch over to Goblin, and she's a devil. Shouldn't you be exercising her?
She looks. You notice her kind of look half-eyed towards you.
That's not how that works.
What's Christianity? Never heard of it.
Well, then he would also hit me. Oh wait, he does. Never mind.
He's already not a fan.
Never said I hated you. You were just in the way.
Fuck you mean in the way? You could have put the fucking spell somewhere else, you dickweed.
Is this happening in character?
I refuse. No. You were in the way. That is, I thought it was happening in character.
No, if it were happening in character, I would be speaking with a slightly British accent.
Slightly Brit accent. Bit cringy.
Slightly British.
Oh, you daft cunt.
That's a bit rude, isn't it?
Anyway.
My neighbors probably think I'm crazy because I'm walking around while we're doing this because I'm with my child outside, by the way.
So anyway, she looks at the sword, inspecting in particular the jewel that's within the blade. How did you come across this?
It was when
Don't answer that.
Why?
Because we found it. It's ours.
And
we can't trust her.
She kind of just looks at you with like a very irritated look.
Now,
what seems to be your problem?
We'll sell you the rights to the node that we found. There's a whole cluster of those crystals. You could just send old Henry out there to get them and come back with... how many would you say, Liebe? There's about 10 times as many as that one, right?
Wait, there's more crystals and you didn't get one for me? Wait, what?
I could only get the one out.
God damn.
in this ensuing chaos, she kind of just looks. What is this jewel? It's so beautiful.
You just see is Liebe just looks kind of disappointed at what the fuck Muffin is doing. He just
The
looks
shiny
at-
rock.
He just looks back to Serenity and goes, well, it is a Ruby of the War Mage. I've done a bit of research on how
I like how
they
you keep using the name as if you couldn't just describe it as a jewel that you can
No.
channel your magic.
He uses the name because he's a fucking nerd. Leave me alone.
I know, but who's to say that that name actually truly exists in the world?
Dangus, can I
He's named it
peruse
that.
the shop?
Now, can you shut up and let me fucking talk for once?
I do, actually, as a matter of fact. You fucker.
May I please fucking talk?
Continue, cunt!
Good. Thank you. He proceeds to explain
He
that
proceeds to talk.
it is a Ruby of the War Mage. They allow you to use your weaponry as a spellcasting focus. I've embedded it into my blade, and now I can simply cast spells through this rather than a different form of focus.
And she puts her hand kind of over the blade, and you can see like small amounts of magic forming in her hands, and the blade,
Should've gone take it.
the jewel in the
No.
blade, reacts with a slightly brighter glow. Incredible.
Yes.
Where did you find these?
That's you're gonna be talking to me. I'm gonna like sort of post up on the what would you say the counter.
Yeah,
So we're
information will
talking
cost you.
like 500 gold for the rights.
They just grab
She-
the sword.
She looks at you, and then looks at you standing on the counter. I just cleaned that.
I'm just in the meantime.
It's not like you can't clean it again. What's the issue?
I just
Wait, I have a question. So the gem.
Hey, we'll
makes
make the
so
tiefling
you
clean
can
it.
use magic on the sword, right? Channel magic. I
Yeah,
mean.
it can channel magic.
So if you theoretically put it around your dick,
God
Yes.
damn it!
No, Void, no.
It's
can you
made.
channel magic onto the dick?
No, because that is not a useful weapon.
And you shoot cum laser.
Please stop.
We're trying to keep this PG-13.
Okay.
Next time I want to have an actual conversation with an NPC, I should get in a separate VC.
Well, unfortunately, everybody's there. If it was the fact that nobody was there, I would say that is completely fine because I've already done that before, but everybody's here,
Yep.
unfortunately.
Fucking, I'll find a way. I want to have an actual, genuine conversation with this person instead of just
With
everyone is being chaotic.
I thought we were having a genuine conversation.
I want to
Yeah,
look around
you're
the
just
shop.
bargaining while I'm trying to make up for the bullshit that we caused last time we came here.
I want to look around the shop.
Yes,
What's
as
in it?
you look around the shop, Ildrad, you see it's strangely empty for what you believe to be a magic shop. There are different like materials that you notice are used for things as like magical incantations and other things, but not very many potions or any just like a few rings behind a glass case.
I want to look over at Serenity or whatever her name was and ask her if are these rings magical or something? They got any effects? They do
And-
anything?
She looks to you and says, "Yes, I have a few of them. Nothing I'd call too, what's the word for it? Special, but they have their uses." And she points to one that has the look of a one-eyed skull on, well, a skull with one eye and the other eye appears to be closed almost. And points to it and says, "This one allows you to create a fog to obscure your enemy's gaze. This one lets you. The one, it appears like almost has like a spring-like look to it. This one allows you to cast a spell to jump much, much higher. And this one here, and she points to a small kind of slightly golden ring with a gem in the middle of it that is a red gem. This one provides resistance to fire. Nothing.
Would you happen to have anything in the shop that you could add to my hammer to make it do lightning damage?
She looks at you and thinks about it. Well, I don't have the means to do it myself currently, but I do know someone who lives, well, quite far from here that could. It's a dwarf by the name of Gamdry. He is a very excellent artificer that's come over from Kallenheim many months ago. I met him not too long after he came here.
And where do I find him?
Interesting fellow.
Isn't that the one you Grimm scared the shit out of?
No, that was.
Where do I find it?
That was a completely different person.
I gotcha.
He lives over. From what I understand, he's taken up his business in a larger city called Necrozia, out towards the Sheared Valley.
Well,
Okay.
shit.
I'm quite surprised he decided to take up his business there of all places, but considering his looks, I'd say he probably fits in with the
What would you say is the
tougher
main population of this city?
well, like any city in this kingdom of Balathor, I imagine it's mostly humans. I have heard talks of a tiefling there, but I don't know very much else
No
other than
orcs,
that.
right?
What's that?
They don't got no orcs?
No, I believe most of them are out in the Sheared Valley. I'm sure they probably try to attack the city from time to time, as dumb as those creatures are.
I look over at the rest of the group and I say, alright, so we're building a militia and we're decimating the Sheared Valley's orc population.
Okay.
It's a long-term goal. We'll do it eventually. Not right now, but eventually.
God's
I like
help.
how he's including us. He just met us out of nowhere. We didn't even strike a conversation to bond, and he's like, "We'll do it."
You
Together.
really don't like orcs, do ya?
I'm sure he has his reasons.
And she kind of looks with a slight bit of raised her eyebrows and a slight bit of surprise to that statement. I wish you luck on that accord. Now, is there anything else I can help any of you with? And she looks back towards you, Apsilon, with the very large shining crimson knight in the back. And what about you, sir?
His name's Apsilon. He doesn't talk often.
I just shrugged because I have nothing to do in the shop. I'm just waiting for the others.
She kind of like chuckles a little bit. I suppose I could get along fine with him.
He's mostly here because we're here.
I see. Well, I guess he has his reasons for trusting you all.
Surprisingly.
Yes. So, is there anything?
Epsilon just scratches his helmet.
Is there anything else I can help you with other than you bringing me such an interesting find of yours?
Well, I've done some research on some of the machinations of it. Would you like me to share?
I would be delighted to hear that.
Would you like to buy the location of where you can get some for yourself?
Yeah, where do we land on that?
Subject, please.
And she kind of looks.
Look,
Well,
I need money for booze.
well, I suppose if I could find buyers for such a thing, we may be able to come to terms of business.
I'm certain the military of any kingdom that uses battle mages will love it.
well, I haven't met many, we'll call them freelance wizards coming around here, but
Oh, wait a minute.
I know that Mr. Stormseer has been attempting to train a few different apprentices to attempt to bring our magical power a little greater in this city.
I was just about to say, yep, that's our next stop. We're going to see if the king wants to buy the rights. And we're willing to offer you a price since we're so well acquainted and, we're friends and everything. But...
When you say friends, her eyebrow raises very slowly in a very, unsure of what you're up to kind of tone.
But the king, I'm sure he'll pay a fortune for it. So I'll give you a deal. 100 gold for the location.
And she sits there kind of tapping her fingernails against the desk, thinking. Very well. I suppose that could come in quite handy in the future.
Man, Muffin's got that speech at 100.
I'm gonna raise my hand up to high five Ildrad, although my hand only comes up to his waist.
I will high five, or low five, whatever.
Yep.
But on one condition. I must know the location first to know if it is genuine. Then I'll pay you.
Alright, fair enough. You got a map?
Yes, I have one laying around, and she goes back into the back a while to search around for a map of Veneer. And after a few moments,
Sends her to the Draconia.
and after a few moments, comes back out and rolls it out in front of you all on the desk.
Okay, I'm gonna draw the path we took from Fellwing up into the mountains, and a point about where I would think it would be on the mountains. Okay, so you're gonna find a cave up in the mountains. There's just a single rock cluster, but like I said, it's about 10 times the size of that gem. Easily you'll be able to get your money's worth out of it. The cave's already been cleared out, so it's all yours.
We already took care of that.
There was something living in this cave?
Two-headed creature. It's friendly now, luckily.
You met
Absolutely.
an Etten?
Hey, excuse me, what?
An Etten,
Immediately.
a massive
Immediately.
two-headed giant. They're normally very, very stupid, but very, very dangerous.
1 second, he pulls out his notebook, kind of flips through it, writes something down. You mean this one? And he pulls out the drawing of Beavis and Butthead.
She points out a finger. Yes, exactly that. How did you manage to draw this without getting killed by it?
Oh, because, like I said, it's been turned friendly, because it is an absolute fucking buffoon. It'll do literally anything
And
for free.
She kind of stands there dumbstruck and kind of puts her elbows onto the table and kind of rubs her temples. You befriended an Etten.
Yeah.
After we bullied it for a good, what was it, 30 seconds? Absalon,
Yeah.
how long did that take again?
You see Apsilon look at his rich wrist for some reason, and then he just puts how long would you say that took, Dangus?
Well, about 4 rounds would be about 24 seconds.
I do the number 10 with my fingers 2 times and then a 4.
24 seconds. It was quite easy.
That is quite incredible skills you have, then.
Well, I mean,
if I'm to
we were-
believe this is true, I suppose.
we
So
had
doubtful.
we had the advantage that it was on ice and it wasn't very dexterous.
She looks towards you, Muffin. I don't know how much I can even trust you, little one. I feel like I've had my life threatened, and you potentially trying to rob me in my own store.
Rob you? I would never.
I just met you. I haven't done anything bad. I feel I'm.
I wasn't
plenty
talking
trustworthy.
about you, and she kind of points a finger at you somewhat dismissively.
Well, that's rude.
Are you still drunk? Or have you sobered up by now?
By
No,
now,
I'm
I
sober
figure
up by
he'd
now.
sober up, which is probably sad for him.
No, Ildrad is drunk. He kept drinking. He never stopped.
Hey, this isn't Aoife. Calm down.
Fuck you mean this isn't Aoife? This is a male dragonborn Aoife.
Anyway,
It's not.
so
He hasn't tried fucking anything yet.
I suppose I'll send Henry out to look for this, and maybe he'll meet this friendly Etten.
They're called Beefus and Butthead. They're morons.
She just stares at you. An interesting name, to be sure, for such an interesting creature.
Ugh, their voices are even more interesting.
And she kind of looks back towards the back of the shop and hears, Henry! And he kind of comes fumbling through the, like a fucking buffoon, comes fumbling through the curtain carrying some papers. Yeah, yes, Lady Serenity. You're being sent out again. Oh, wonderful. I can't wait.
Wait, before you go, let me at least give you a little bit of advice as to what you're looking for.
Alright.
So, he just explains what the crystal looks like and where it is, and like shows on the map where the cave is.
Alright, seems easy enough.
Yes, and if you feel like you need any support, ask some of the villagers.
Oh, just ask Beavis and Butthead to show you where his cave was.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Don't
who?
Look, they're morons. If you offer them food, they will literally do anything.
Alright, well, what does this fellow look like? What do these fellows look like?
Okay, I'm going to show you, but you gotta promise not to scream. He
Alright.
just shows him the drawing of the Etten.
I look over at Muffin and say,
What the hell is
He's gonna
that?
scream.
You promised.
What did Ildrad say to Muffin?
Before he screamed, he said, in Goblin, he's going to scream.
Oh, duh.
Yes, and he goes, what the hell is that?
You promised.
Ugh. Oh my god.
Don't worry, the villagers will definitely help you out. If you don't
And
want
Serenity
them around.
kind of like grabs him by the shoulder. If these ones are to be believed, you'll be just fine, Henry. Just try not to get captured again. Oh,
Promise.
okay.
I promise you'll be fine.
If you say so. I'm no fighter.
Like I said, just get Beavis and Butthead to take you up to where they used to live.
Yeah. There you go.
And he kind of shudders at the thought of this. Like,
I just look at him and I just say, do you have any magical capabilities, my friend? Even the slightest.
you're asking that to Henry?
Henry, yeah.
No, I wouldn't call myself remarkable in any way. At least that's what my uncle has told me.
Well, your uncle does not speak the truth. You are definitely a very kind fellow.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna whisper back to Ildrad, he's totally gonna die. In
I
Goblin.
want to say to Muffin and Goblin, so when is our horny friend gonna try to get some?
I think he's waiting for us to leave. They have some business to talk about that sword.
He's put it away since, so probably not.
Fucking out of context. This sounds so stupid.
It does. I love it.
So should we just leave after we're done negotiating and getting our 100 gold?
Yeah. So I told you where it's at. You're gonna send Henry out. We already showed you the rock, so I'm just gonna hold out her money-grubbing hands, like give.
Gimme.
I believe I told you that you'll get the money when we find it is real.
Well, I suppose we'll be in the city for a few days.
It shouldn't take Henry that long. Right, Henry? And she kind of slaps him on the back. Yes, Lady Serenity.
You should probably get going now, don't you think?
And she just kind of... Serenity looks at him. Yes, it would be a good idea. Make sure you grab the pickaxe. Now get going. Yes, ma'am. And he runs back into the back, and you can, after hearing a lot of fumbling around, a few things dropping, he goes out a door, which you assume is out the back.
I like this guy.
Ryan.
Poor Henry.
So,
He's willing to
when-
help, but he's a very stupid fellow
when
sometimes.
did Muffin become a god in negotiation and greedy.
You should get expertise in
She's a
fucking
I
persuasion.
mean, she's a goblin
is a
for
goblin.
one, so.
No, she's possessed by Volton.
Well,
She
goblins
should
are
have-
also,
she should have
they have to
100.
be wily for their size, and they're usually greedy.
No, it's just a shtick in these campaigns. The short ones are always the negotiators.
Somehow.
Somehow.
It's something
I
about the
really
stat.
should level up my charisma, but I don't have any skill in persuasion or intimidation or anything like that.
My persuasion is a +3.
What's my persuasion? Oh, mine is a +2. Apsilon is very good at persuading people. All he has to do is take out his greatsword.
And so, Serenity kind of taps the desk. Well, if nothing else, I suppose I'll get back to my own business. I thank you
I
for
think-
coming.
We're gonna be leaving, but I think Liebe here wanted to show you his sword again.
No, I had some papers on some research on how these gems might possibly work.
he's fucking like while they're carting away, he's just like, I'm writing all this down.
Yeah, he does. He writes everything down.
I imagine him like that weird person that takes like shit tons of notes on everything to the point where it's like you kind of wonder if they're crazy or not.
No, it's like
shit about me when I took
it's
notes
things
on
that
my
he
notepad.
finds important and or interesting.
He's got at least 8 notepads.
His spell book is unlimited
So
for the sake of this.
should we go see Lord Garen today, or should we wait till tomorrow?
One sec, I forgot that I left my charger somewhere.
What time of day is it, Dangus?
What the hell's a charger? Well, from the light coming in the shop, you imagine it's only like late afternoon. You guys haven't been in town very long.
Okay, we can totally go see Lord Garen.
When Muffin asks if we should do it today, I say yes by pointing down.
Pointing down?
Yes,
Yeah,
saying right now.
Oh, like pointing, yeah. Like right this minute. All right, Liebe, we're gonna head to the castle.
One sec, I can't roleplay at the moment. I need to make sure my
go find his
laptop doesn't
charger.
die.
He's breaking character.
I thought it was funny. He's like, I gotta get my charger. So I was like, what the hell's a charger?
For my laptop, because it was
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about like in real life. It would be like in the fantasy world. What the hell's a charger?
Don't worry about it.
That's why he uses to charge his sword.
And I had to plug it into an outlet. Sucks being in the medieval ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, sucks to suck, I guess.
Mhm.
But he says, oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. Would you mind if I came back some other time? And we could discuss this.
Like tonight, over dinner.
Muffin.
And you notice Serenity kind of standing there. You can tell she's probably slightly uncomfortable by that, just kind of tapping her fingers.
From what Muffin said?
Yes.
Understandably so.
But whenever you decide to, I'll be open for quite a few more hours tonight. Or today, rather.
Then I'll drop by once you're no longer busy.
I am always busy, but I always have time for a customer.
Thank you.
We've never bought anything.
Oh yeah, shit. All we've
I
done
whisper
is
it
sell
to
something.
Eldred.
We've sold her one thing, and that's it. That's the
Yeah,
only
now you're
thing.
trying to get money from her for a thing. You've never bought anything from her.
It's a trade deal, but only in our favor.
Mm-hmm. Well, she'll make money off the crystals. It's just you guys are making money there.
We're making money off of her making money.
Mm-hmm. It's like a trade deal.
So yeah, let's head. I just wave goodbye as we go to Lord Garen.
Farewell. And she goes back behind the curtain as you all leave.
See you later.
So after we leave, what's the shop say?
fat
You-
ass.
You get this weird feeling, and you almost feel necessary for you to look up, and you can see the Echo kind of just floating there, leaned back in a reclined position, and the shop now, instead of Phantasma, says Fat Man Ass.
Why am I not surprised? Apsilon.
Epsilon just tells the Echo to get down from there.
Get the fuck down from there!
He could literally dismiss it, and he's just like talking to it instead, more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's like, just look at Muffin. You know you're not making this easy.
What are you talking about? I think that went a lot better than the last time.
Yes, because the last time we literally tried to fucking threaten her.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was Wolf, but that wasn't. But that he wasn't robot.
He's dead now. His sins are forgiven.
He was.
Yeah.
He was an
Are you
automaton.
always gonna hold that against him?
He was an automaton. He didn't know any better.
So you can't hold it against him. He was learning manners and everything.
He didn't know, but that's why I
Just
feel
do
bad.
your-
Because I
just do
can't
your-
blame him.
Just do your freaky deaky mind control powers like you did to me.
That wasn't mind control.
I
That
know
was
these
just-
times.
It's just a thing. I don't know what it is. I can barely control it. It was a miracle that it was able to just a moment ago.
Meanwhile, while they're having this argument, Epsilon's just scolding the Echo with gestures.
with a finger wag and all that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
Let's just go talk to Lord Garen.
So who's Lord
Yes, he'll
Garen?
be most pleased.
Lord Garen is the big leader man of this city.
Oh yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably get you both. Wait, didn't we? Did
Absalon-
we?
Absalon has the cloak.
Yeah.
Epsilon
The,
hasn't met Lord Garen yet, has he?
No.
No.
He's
Neither-
wearing the cloak, though. He's wearing the purple cloak.
We should also get one made for Ildrad if you're going to keep traveling with us.
Unless you're just gonna keep drunkenly stumbling about.
Why can't I do both?
Por qué no los dos?
Well, let's just... We'll ask him for one when we get there. Because I don't want to inconvenience the poor old man.
So you guys are just going to
Garen's.
Garen's. So as you all travel towards it, something catches your eye, Muffin. It is, and you've never noticed it sitting there before, which you find odd. But you see come on, man, what the fuck? A large, or not large, but like a medium-sized red and yellow tent. But to your knowledge, nobody else has taken notice to this strange tent just sitting here. People are walking by it as, just walking by it as, it sits in the city, and you would think that for as weird as it is, they would take notice.
Are there any masks on it?
Nobody, right now, Muffin is the one taking notice to it.
Oh,
I'm gonna go over
I
and
think I already
nudge.
know what that is.
I'm gonna nudge Absalom. Do you see anything over there? And I'm gonna point over towards the tent.
I look at it.
And when when she points towards a tent, Apsilon, all you see is an empty space in the ground. You're not seeing whatever it is she's seeing.
Oh!
I
Oh,
shake my head no.
Okay, why don't you guys go ahead? I gotta go take a leak.
Alright then.
Epsilon presses X to doubt.
Yeah, you see him you can feel him doubting you, even without words.
You know, if you want... I mean, technically, if he were to actually be questioning what the fuck she wants to actually do, you could just roll insight. See her actual intentions.
Can I do
Stop
that?
being smart.
Dangus?
I mean, yeah, you can. And Muffin can roll deception.
Yep.
So, deception versus insight.
No, I have a -1 in insight, so.
I got a 5.
So all you need.
I got. Oh shit! I got a
it.
7 minus 1. I beat
Wow.
you by
You
1.
both are really fucking bad at what you do. So,
So it's obvious that I'm lying, and it's obvious that he knows I'm lying.
Yeah.
yes. You can tell Apsilon knows you're lying. But and Apsilon, you realize she's probably lying about this, but just from that's all you know. You can't really discern whatever it is she's talking about.
Just give him a big toothy smile, and sweat starts breaking out under his penetrating gaze.
Oh my!
Epsilon just does the thing where you put both your fingers in front of your eyes and like.
It looks
point
a
towards
lot
the
like this
person.
gif right here.
Epsilon just does the "I'm keeping my eyes on you" gesture. And
Walks away.
And then he pats her and then walks away.
Okay, I'm gonna disappear into the alleyway.
Alleyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna disappear into the alleyway. I gotta make sure they're not following me.
Yeah, I guess we'll walk towards Lord Garen.
So then everybody else is just going about their business towards Lord Garen.
Yeah. It would have been funny. Ryan rolled the 5. Would have been funny if I rolled the 6 because of my -1. It would have been 5.
Yeah. That would have been great. Oh, there we go. So, Muffin, you peek out your head and you notice that everyone is heading towards the keep and they go through the gate. So, from what you can tell, nobody's trying to spy on what you're doing.
Good. I'm going to nonchalantly walk over to the tent.
I'm gonna mute myself for 1 sec.
So, you approach this tent, and you have a very strange feeling about it for the fact that Apsilon, who, as far as you can tell, is a very
Perceptive.
honest and perceptive knight, had seemed to not see whatever it was you were seeing. And just that feeling alone is a bit unnerving.
Okay, I'm gonna pull 2 daggers out, but like keep them tucked inside my sleeves, just in case I need them.
Okay.
And I'm going in.
So, as you pull open the edges of this tent, it's strangely larger inside than, much like Phantasma, not too far from it. Which you're starting to feel
It's not
weird.
called that anymore.
You're starting to feel what?
It's not called that anymore.
Fat ass man for Batman ass. So, as you go, I'm just gonna keep referring to it as you guys can remember how funny it is. As you approach into this tent, when you're starting to feel a running theme of weird magical places being bigger than they should be, and you can see many different shelves lining the edges of this tent, and there's jars that seem to be full of like different liquids and small strange creatures and other things. And in the center of this tent, there's a round table with a black cloth on it, and on top of that cloth is an empty bowl in the center with 2 candles on each side. And sitting at this table is what you feel is probably the most disgusting creature you've ever seen.
That's saying something.
Its skin is glistening with a slime. Its skin is rough and wart covered, and it has a green, sickly color. The face of this creature is bloated, and you can see it smiling at you with horrible, rotted, crooked teeth, and its eyes are strange too, with one bloodshot eye on its right is much larger and bulbous compared to the other, and it's this obesity and size of this creature gives you a very unnerved feeling. and it looks at you, and it's through its grin, you hear, "Welcome, Muffin.
What are you buying?
What are you buying?"
What are you selling?
Anyway, so
Boy, mute yourself as well.
yes, I'd rather actually have this be a Muffin moment. Anyway, so yes, it says "Welcome, Muffin" in its horrific voice.
Okay. How do you know my name?
It is my. Oh wait, actually, I want to put on the music too. Give me a moment. Sorry.
Don't forget the damn music.
Shut up. And it sits there, laughing to itself. It is my business to know.
Was it Liebe? I'll kill him.
No. I haven't met your tiefling friend.
Okay. So, what do you want with me?
I've been keeping my eye on all of you, and it seems you may have use of the knowledge and powers I may grant to you for revenge against the Black Eye.
You see her ears perk up when he says about the Black Eye. Do you know where to find him?
I know many things, but no information is free.
I'm gonna pull out the seat and take a seat at the table.
Such information as that would be quite expensive. But not all knowledge is gained monetarily.
You can't have my body if that's what you're asking.
I'm not sure you'd be a strong enough vessel. Anyway.
Not what I was talking about, but okay.
And its grin widens, and you see a centipede crawl out of its teeth and across the top of its head.
So what do you
Disgusting,
want?
isn't it?
I'm sorry, what was that, Muffin?
So what do you want?
Well, as I said, I am in the business of information. And I believe we could come to some type of accord.
Fine. What do you want to know?
You wish to find the Black Eye and return to your precious King Davy.
Alright, she's gonna jump up onto the table and leap at the, this figure, whoever it is, drawing one of the knives. How do you know that name?
I've told you many times already. It is my business to know.
She's gonna sit back down in the seat. Now she's really paying attention. What do you want me to do?
I have a proposition for you. Now, despite the knowledge I have and can continue to gain, I could use another set of eyes, perhaps.
How will I stay in contact with you?
he puts his hand, this large four-fingered hand, over top of the bowl, and this sickly green light and twisting of smoke form in the bowl. And after it dissipates, you see a small coin sitting in the middle of the bowl. This can be used for finding me in your dire hour, you could call it.
What do you want me to find or see? What do you want me to find out?
All I'm asking is you carry something upon you for me to see what I want to see. And when I need you to acquire something, any materials I may want, you would bring them to me. And in exchange, I can give you powers beyond your primitive imagination.
All right, big guy. Don't get too big for your britches. And I'm gonna hold out my hand for the coin.
The coin, in a strange way, flips itself out of the bowl directly into your hand.
What's engraved on the coin? Any markings or pictures?
On the coin, all you can see is one large eye that you can tell is modeled after the large bulbous eye on this horrific creature. Now, that is not exactly what I'm asking you to carry. That is only a way to call for me. Of course, I can find you when I need you. What I will have you carry is an amulet that will let me see what I wish to see.
Alright, show it to me, because if it's gaudy, I'm not going to be able to wear it. At least not showing.
And he pulls out this small amulet, and, well, you could almost describe it more as a choker. It's a piece of iron with a small gem in the center. And as you look at this gem, you almost feel like you're being watched. This will let me see what I wish to see, and give me whatever information you may find on your travels I would find useful.
Fine, give it to me.
Not quite that simple. And he holds out one of his large bulbous hands. We will make our own pact, you may call it. I give you the powers you could only wish for, to find and have your revenge on the Black Eye, and maybe even find your Goblin King. And as he puts that, when his hand is out, you can feel like this change of intensity in the air.
What should I call you? I'm gonna extend my hand out as well.
I am known by many names, though many prefer to call me the Frogman. Quite hilarious, I believe them to think.
Then I accept your deal.
And as you put your hand into the hand of the Frogman, you can feel this ominous aura flow through the air. The pact is sealed. And you feel this burning sensation in your hand, and you have when you pull your hand back, you have a very small but noticeable mark of a slight green, almost like the shape of a Y, burned into your hand. And
different from the color of my skin.
Very subtly, so many people probably wouldn't notice it. And as you look down at your hand, seeing this mark, you look back up, and the tent is gone. And in your ear, and you're holding the necklace he had given, necklace or choker he had given you, and you just can hear almost an echoing in your ear. And now go on your adventure, little one.
Okay, I'm going to start running towards the castle.
Now, in the meantime, are Void and Julian present still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was totally not listening to the Chocobo theme.
Can I roll for something to feel that something, to have like a feeling that something's wrong? That something happened?
Roll intuition.
Something's wrong, I can feel it.
No. As a matter of fact, no. Not, at least not at that distance, because as all that was happening, you three enter the castle, and you can see Lord Garen sitting in the chair that has been in the center of this large room that you all had typically been in, or at least you know, Liebe. Absilon and Ildrad, you look around, noticing the decor of the place, of all the regality of it all. And
I just look at Ildrad and Apsilon, and I say, now for this, I would like for you two to just let me do the talking. If there's any questions, just make sure to leave them until the end of the conversation.
Please, for the love of God.
I don't remember you being the boss of me.
I do not give two fucks. Just for once in your life, please listen to me and just shut up for 5 minutes.
Just this once.
Also, you said that to the both of us?
No, to Ildrad. Absilon, I'm just like, and you don't talk. I don't need to worry about you.
You keep
your hands down, no gestures.
You just put those hands inside of your pouch.
I just take out my book and start reading instead.
That's also a good idea.
So yes, as you're having this conversation, you notice that a back is turned walking out a door, and you catch a brief glimpse of a tail before the door closes. From the person that was talking to Lord Garen. Well, our conquering hero. Who are your new companions? What happened to the other two?
One of them has disappeared to who knows where, and another one has self-destructed in a moment of desperation to defend us.
I don't believe I understand what you mean by that term.
You know when you cast Fireball? Yeah, he basically did that centered on himself, except more powerful.
And Lord Garen, looks in a bit of a shock. So your masked fellow's gone, and your metallic friends...
The robot is gone. The masked fellow disappeared.
I see. I am sorry for your loss.
We had a robot?
Ildrad, please. This is Ildrad. We met him, drunk in a forest, which he seems to like to be.
Wow.
And this is Apsilon.
I don't judge your pastimes.
I do a knightly bow.
I have no pastimes.
Garen looks at the both of you. Not many Dragonborn out in Balathor. They're mostly stayed in Draconia, other than my good friend Calamish Stormseer. And it's for you. That is interesting armor you have there, Sir Knight. Who may you be?
He doesn't speak much. He is undead, so he needs to save his energy. His name is Apsilon.
Just fucking telling him he's undead.
Yeah, right?
Who gives... He does not...
Apsilon looks a bit offended towards Liebe.
But he's a very good fellow. His name is Apsilon.
He looks at... Lord Garen looks at you a bit shocked. And, like, an undead? In these walls?
Do not worry, he is absolutely friendly as can be.
I wave friendly towards him.
He's even reading a book.
And, he just kind of looks a bit,
Bless you.
uncomfortable at that.
I can do the thing I did with a Muffin, right? For the memories.
Yes,
The
you
echo?
could, yes.
I'd like to do that.
So, Liebe, you
I
take
like to
notice
fuck his
as
brain.
the shadow walks quickly out of Apsilon and kind of for a moment hovers over Lord Garen and brings his hands to the side of his head, and you can see watch Lord Garen, his eyes wide as like surges of emotion and whatever else goes on through his head. And when the echo finally releases its grip and disappears, you can see him, Lord Garen. You see tears roll from his face, almost with a smile on his face, almost in joy. Apsilon Erkval, the Crimson Commander of the Second King of Balathor. But how? And he just kind of looks towards you, Apsilon, wondering how you could possibly be here.
I shrug, not knowing myself because the memories are fuzzy.
He seems to have a thing with ravens, though that seems to be granted.
And Lord Garen looks towards you. Ravens, you say?
Yes, at this point I
Isn't
would
Muffin here with us, by the way?
No, not yet.
Not yet, no.
No.
Yes, he touched from what I can remember, he was holding a raven's feather when he suddenly felt a type of... I don't know, actually. It looked like he recalled something, but I can't tell. The no-speech thing doesn't really help when it comes to deciphering his emotions.
Well, that must have been memories of him then, his time past. He was a very, from what I know from history, he's a very powerful knight. Some called him the Dragon Slayer of Balathor.
I would not be surprised if he could. I mean...
In my old days, my prime.
Together with his help, we took down the two-headed creature that you had sent us after. He ended up being quite friendly and quite the moron, so we were able to strike a deal with him.
And he kind of raises an eyebrow towards you. You've struck a deal with whatever that creature was?
Yes, apparently. How did you pronounce it? How did Serenity pronounce it again?
Etten.
Oh, yeah. So, it was an Etten, and yes, the rumors hold true. They are as idiotic as you can possibly imagine. They will do anything for food. So, it's almost like a pet. We promised him food, and in exchange he now protects the town in which the villagers nearby reside.
Well, as long as he doesn't cause trouble. If he does, it's on your head.
If it does, we will kill him for it.
Very well.
We've
In the meantime, and he waves somebody over, bring the reward for them, and Also, the orc problem. Have you taken care of that as well?
Yes, we have figured out that it has connections to something much greater than simply just some rowdy orcs. It is apparently connected to an entity who names himself the Black Eye, who has brought these orcs back from the dead.
Are you sure they were from the dead? I've never heard of such magic bringing anything from the death.
Well, necromancy is fairly frowned upon in most societies, therefore almost no one appears to openly speak of it. But necromantic magic does allow for one to bring back the dead under their own command. Or it has many effects that has to do with the death of, with the morality of life. I myself have studied a small part of it.
Whatever this Black Eye is, it cannot be good.
It is.
Especially if it's been causing issues with the orcs. They're rowdy enough without anything riling them up.
He is a very powerful being, but he appears to view this all as a game. And from what I can tell, he thinks he is the master of this game. So, I've decided that...
I'm trying to think if I actually said about him it being a game, too.
No,
actually, you know what
just
Muffin would say about explaining it during breakfast, so...
Yeah.
Explaining her bad dream, quote, quote.
Just how he thinks he's been acting like it is just a game to him, so...
I don't know what this thing could be, but... it cannot be good. That's all I know for sure. Well...
We will train ourselves, and we shall take care of it. As effectively and quickly as possible.
That is good to hear. I'm glad I found such noble men in service. Now, as for the payment of what you've done... where was it? And I assume now I will be paying your new companions in place of the old ones.
Oh, the goblin has simply gone towards the tavern. She has remained there. She is still alive and with us.
Oh, that is good. That is good to hear. At least, well, yes. I don't have much of an opinion on goblins, but at least that one seems willing.
She's at least partially reasonable. A bit of a prankster, but reasonable.
Well, good to hear. That's all it is, and good fun then.
Yes.
And he sends off the man that he had called to get your reward. Now, since you've taken care of those 2 tasks, you'll all be receiving 70 gold apiece. And I thank you greatly for that, for your services.
It was our pleasure.
That means 70 gold each?
Yes.
I have money now.
I can afford shit now. Kind of.
Now, I'm sure with all that's gone on, you must all be very tired. And as he's talking about this, Muffin, you come strolling through the into the room. I see your little friend has decided to join us. I was just congratulating your fellows on a job well done.
Right.
Here's your 70 gold.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Now then, I believe you all may, from what I can tell, need some rest after a very eventful few days. By all means, rest in the town, take in the sights, whatever you wish.
Well, actually, speaking of that, this Sir Stormseer, was it?
Yes.
From what I had heard, he is quite the powerful mage, and as a practitioner of the arcane myself, I would love to be able to speak with someone who also practices as such.
I'm sure he would be more than happy to train someone else. He seems always willing to talk about his research and spells and things that are no of interest to me, but he likes to talk at length.
Yes, and I find it quite interesting. After all, I'm quite used to lengthy chats with my father.
Well, then you two may get along like best friends then, I suppose.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well then, I'll see you again whenever you decide to come around. I'm sure I'll have something else for you in the by then.
Alright, well, thank you very much. It was very pleasant to speak with you once more.
Hey, the pleasure is mine as always.
Yes. Well, have a very pleasant day, sir.
You as well.
Yes, and I will leave the room. And I will go look for the storm seer fellow.
Now, what is everybody else doing while he fucks off to go find the Dragonborn?
The Dragonborn?
Tavern.
So,
Get drunk!
and what is Ildrad doing?
I'll follow the goblin.
And what is Apsilon doing?
I would like to go see where the knights train.
Okay. Okay, so I guess for the simplest one, I'll start with the alcoholics. I'll get to all three of you tonight before we do anything else. Don't worry.
Yay.
So first of all, the alcoholics. You've made your way back over to the tavern in the middle of town, which I already forget what the fuck I called it.
I think I wrote it down.
The thingamajig.
Oh fuck! If I could have
Because
gone,
it wasn't
my
one of those
episode
things that I
changed.
found important enough to actually write down.
Wasn't the twin hammers?
That was the blacksmith.
That's the blacksmith, yeah.
The golden booze.
No.
That was the tavern in Malbid.
I don't know. Just start naming off whatever names you put down.
Well, there was the Broken Arrow Tavern in Malbid. There was the Chummy Potato. There was Harold General Store. No, that wasn't it. No, I guess you didn't. I think you just called it the tavern. I didn't think you actually gave it a name.
I think I did give it a name. It's just not something I wrote down because I think it was just one of those things. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I will find it out later at another time.
Yeah,
But yes, you all
wrote
go
it
into the
down.
tavern. Well, you and Ildrad go into the tavern and begin ordering your drinks to relax after what had gone on. Or at least you're relaxing, Muffin, whereas Ildrad is just...
I'm not relaxing.
Okay.
I'm slapping 5 gold down the table. Alright, Dragonborn. 5 gold says I can drink you under the table.
Oh boy.
Where'd he go?
Grimm, you there?
He's intimidated.
I'd rather not.
The gauntlet's been thrown, but it has not been picked up.
He's
She
I
gets
only
this-
drink for religious
she gets this-
reasons.
Wait, say it again?
I only drink for religious reasons.
Bruh.
Right.
Don't worry
She
about
gets this.
So if you're gonna want to drink, we're gonna have to go out in the forest and do a ritual.
That sounds shady as fuck, man.
Yeah. I don't trust
We
anybody
might
to
get
drink to the
pranked by
forest.
Loki in the process, by the way. So, yeah.
You know what? Alright.
Could wake up in a different town.
We'll do a 3-day bender out in the woods. Last person standing wins.
I love this. I love this.
Now, my question to Dangus is, since in the D&D world, gods physically exist,
Uh-huh.
if I roll some dice and I roll high enough, can my ritual physically summon Thor to have a 3-day bender with us?
You know
It is a
what,
ritual for summoning Thor.
you know what, motherfucker? Let's do it. Go ahead and make a religion roll.
Here we
Well,
go.
Yeah.
I love this. This is beautiful.
Just because I've let so much crazy
Julian.
I've let so much crazy shit go this whole time. Let's keep it rolling.
Let the good times
Julian,
roll.
you better hand over your luck right now.
I will give you the luck of the gods, bro.
Alright, where's religion? Oh god, why is religion an intelligence-based thing?
Can I help?
You know what? Yeah, fuck, you already made the roll. Well, yeah, let's... You know what, fuck that, that's... I'm gonna call that good enough for the fact that you've already been praying to your god for now. So, after spending, I'd say to get the amount of alcohol for 3 fucking days, and you're just gonna probably load it on the cart and take it out to the woods. I'm gonna
How
say
much gold are we talking about?
you both would have to put down at least 15 gold for all the alcohol,
Oof.
because you are wanting to drink the fuck and get fucked up for 3 days.
Well, I hope Thor blesses me, because that's pretty much all my gold. Jesus.
1 second, I'm
You got
asking
paid.
my-
You got paid 70 gold.
Oh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm no longer broke.
Wait, he doesn't.
Wasn't
He
paying
doesn't
attention.
have the cloak though, does he?
No, but
Yeah,
Garen realized that he was a part of the thing, but no, he still doesn't have a cloak.
What the motherfucker gets a salary for not doing shit?
Wait.
Yeah.
I want his job.
Wait. I'm asking.
It's called the Blessing of Thor.
Bro.
You should get one.
It's called the sad existence of I have to feel the need to make sure all the parties kept up to date, or else it gets a little fucky.
Dangus.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sorry, I
the
had to be at
CEO.
work.
Anyway, so
Yeah. Hey, Grimm, wait. You're gonna enjoy this. I asked King, who's my pagan friend, if Thor would actually enjoy joining in. He said yes.
Nigga,
anyway,
what part of I literally did research on how pagans worship Thor before
wait.
this?
Oh, if he joins, so does Odin.
Okay, so we're
Fuck it,
doing
we just
since
have
we're
a party
doing
with the gods.
since we're doing a 3-day bender. I think 15 gold should be the minimum buy-in.
I put down 15 gold on the table.
All right.
so yes,
May the best mortal win.
so you guys in time gather up your alcohol, load it onto the cart, and go out into the nearby forest, where you both start drinking, and you notice Ildrad praying while he's drinking in a way that is strange to you, doing his own little ritual, and
So,
clouds.
Yeah, I just start placing down a cup full of whatever alcohol we bought.
yeah.
Then I start, saying my
And-
prayer.
Grimm, apparently, Aesir do not drink before Odin does, so Odin would start, probably, and then afterwards Thor would drink as well.
I was just going for Thor. I was.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's part of it. It's part of the culture. If the Aesir...
All I was gonna say was the one I'm summoning is Thor. Whether Odin shows up or not is up to Dangus.
I was just going with
Beer.
Thor. I'm not going with the complete accuracy to Norse mythology. I'm going with you wanted to summon and party with your god, so now we're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
specifically calling out Thor.
Yes. So as you watch Muffin, he's doing this ritual as you start already drinking. Very dark clouds form overhead.
So there was a storm coming in anyway.
And lightning strikes not too far from your feet, or from where you're standing. Well, where
Hey,
you're both
watch
standing.
it!
When that happens, I lift my cup up in like a cheer.
No. And another lightning flashes in the same spot, and you notice I don't know, you know what? You can go ahead and describe how you want Thor to look like for this particular usage. I don't care how accurate or inaccurate you go with.
I was just gonna say, he's a Scandinavian god. Blonde, tall, made, chiseled like a stone. He's a god.
Yes,
That
and,
is the most handsome man you've ever seen.
and you are struck in awe, Ildrad, as the man you recognize as your god Thor has come before you.
Oh, your senpai.
I pick up the cup that I'd placed down before and hold it up towards him.
And he grabs the cup. We drink! And so
I
the
start drinking.
and so with not even another word, the drinking begins, and this goes on for 3 goddamn days.
It's gonna be like The Hangover. We don't remember anything afterwards.
As
Yep.
the one pagan motherfucker in this VC, I love this.
So now then,
Now let's start with Apsilon.
Okay.
Fuck's-
I was trying to figure out. I was like trying to do an Eemi my mo thing in my head. Apsilon,
Yes.
you wish to find the knights,
Yeah.
so you do that. So now, what are the as you're watching these knights kind of train, and from your own experience, you feel that their technique is a bit sloppy. You approach a man who seems to be the one in charge of the knights. What can I help you with?
And I use the mindfuck thing to talk with them instead of just send memories.
I mean, yeah, sure. For you know what? For the sake of your bullshit, yeah.
Go
Okay,
for it.
I want to mindfuck his mind.
Jesus Christ.
The fact that you refer to it as a mind fuck makes it sound like you're like nearly killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're violating his mind.
So
Yeah.
the echo just barely coming out, puts a hand into the side of the head of this knight commander, and being one shocked and two impressed to see such a powerful knight there, he kneels before you and bows. It would be an honor, Sir Apsilon Erkval, for you to train our knights.
I do a knightly bow and begin the mighty training of these peasants.
Yes, so the captain tells them that you will be training them to bring them to a more perhaps make their swordplay more effective and make them stronger. So on you decide to take 3 different days to do this, and day 1, what are you making them do?
Oh, hold on. I had a list for this.
You did have a list. I fucking didn't look at it again.
Fuck, didn't I pin the message? Oh, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. It's really not. I don't think it was that far back. Then again, me and you fucking ramble at each other for fucking hours sometimes.
You don't
Bunch
know
of,
that. You have
like-
no proof.
I do. It's from all these fucking messages. Jesus Christ.
Shut up.
You shut
All this
up.
bullshit.
Uh,
This is fun.
and the recording is still going. Okay, so on your very first day, you continue to watch the knights, and finding their swordsmanship lacking, you sit there and teach them different techniques to make them more effective, such as disarming their opponents and using feints and other dexterous motions to attack their enemies.
Oh, and don't forget speed.
Yeah, well, he
Wait,
can't.
so you found the thing already?
Yeah, I found it already.
Holy shit.
I'm amazing. Man, that was from fucking 2 days ago. And as the day passes, on to the second day, you get them all up early and go running through the forest, trying to get them all into shape. And
You hear loud cheers and thunderclaps.
yeah, sure. And having them move around in the forest and other parts of the environment that seem a lot more dangerous. And then as you return, you have them lift different things to attempt to bring them strength. In the meantime, you're squatting with a cowl on your shoulders, which makes some of the knights very terrified of how strong you are.
Oh,
And
I
as-
love the cow.
Yes, that was my favorite part to think about. And on the third day, you train them some more and then have sparring matches with a few of them. While not quite to the standards you have to yourself, you can tell there's been some improvements even in those 3 days. Not an intense improvement, but you've given them a new regimen that they may be able to become even stronger as time goes on.
Man,
They
how
might survive some goblins now.
Well,
How nice of them.
I mean, by the end of the third day, you're not doing that. But they thank you greatly and all bow to you for teaching them your ways.
I do a knightly bow.
Now
And
then!
if I were a superhero, I would say, and I love you too, random citizens. Also, you weren't kidding when you said we fucking ramble on. 2 days ago. It looks like it was like 10 days ago from all the messages.
Yeah, I know.
Holy
That's why I
shit.
said we ramble about the dumbest shit. Most of the time, you sending me random messages like that you're gonna kidnap me and send me to an island and beat me with a pineapple or some shit.
Wait,
Listen,
what?
Like I said, you have no proof.
Alright,
Anyway,
so I lost
continuing
audio
on.
He lost audio and he's gone.
Anyway, before you speak more of the crimes I do and did, continue on to Liebe. Yeah.
The Magic Man.
So I lost all audio for a second, and as soon as my audio came back, all I heard was something about fucking someone with a pineapple.
No, beating with a pineapple.
Dipshit.
Oh, I understood fucking.
Well, this is because you're a horny fuck. Okay.
The other sort of fucking from mind fucking from before and the pineapple part.
Look, if you say that I'm a horny fuck, I'll take Serenity. I'll seduce her.
No.
No, please. Anyway, so now moving on to Liebe. You follow into the doorway you saw close, and as you enter, you can see this very tall room that is round and just lined with books and scattered papers, and in the center is a large desk that is facing away from the door with a what did I fucking have him be? A copper-colored dragonborn who stands very tall, but you can see from the back he has some heft to him.
So, as he walks in, he just kind of checks his own pulse. I just stumbled into heaven.
And hearing you monologue externally, or talk to yourself externally, the Dragonborn like kind of looks back, and you can see on his long face that he has something like whiskers that come far down his face. Oh, welcome, welcome. How can I help you?
Am I dead? Is this heaven?
Oh, my boy, I don't think you're dead quite yet. At least you look a little more lively. Though, if you were dead, I'd think you'd potentially go back to not go back to. You'd probably be in the hells, at least by your appearance. That was probably not a very kind joke, I apologize.
Don't worry, my own mother makes it.
Well, she sounds like a very funny
wonderful
woman,
person.
then.
She's a wonderful person.
Oh, very good, very good. May I ask your name?
My name is Liebe. Very nice to meet you.
Using the virtue names that you tieflings tend to use, I've heard many of them as I've traveled around. I haven't met much tieflings anymore, though. They seem to be scattered about. I've met a few in Calenheim, a few in Necrosia, a few here, and he continues to ramble and fucking ramble on,
He's just listening in.
not getting to the point of whatever it is he's talking about.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so very sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Calamish Stormseer. Very nice to meet you.
It is very nice to meet you, sir. I heard that you are a very well. One second, my brain just shut down. Give me. Yeah, my brain just blue screened. I've heard that you are a very well versed practitioner of the arcane, and myself being a practitioner of the arcane, starting but still there, I came to ask to seek aid in my studies.
And he kind of like puts a hand onto his around the collar of his robe. Well, I don't know if I'd say I'm that great, but I know quite a few things. mostly all in my books. And he just kind of gestures around to all the books in this extremely large library.
There's so many. I'm honestly shocked.
And he turns around. Oh yes, I have to apologize for the mess. I'm not the best organizer. And he kind of like ruffles around some papers, moving them around.
No, don't worry. I'm definitely not the tidy type myself.
Now, I believe you said you were interested in magic. So then
Yes.
what brings you to me?
Well, I've heard that you are quite studied when it comes to these things, and
I am?
looking
Yes.
around, I feel like I've just stumbled upon the very proof I required. And if it were alright with you, would you be okay with teaching me some of the many things that you've learned?
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing I enjoy more than teaching another student. You could learn many and many, and he continues on and on and on about teaching people and the joys of learning. And then he starts going on something about his mother and food she made and other rambling
Liebe
things that seem to have nothing to do with whatever it was you were talking about.
Liebe is just smiling. He does not care. He's used to it.
Whoa, where was I? I feel like I've lost my train of my thoughts.
Oh, it's-
Liebe is used to some weird things.
He has a dad.
Who rambles like a motherfucker.
Yep.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ildrad could not relate.
He just says it's quite alright. It's much like my father. I used to have many conversations with him like this.
He must be a fantastic fellow.
Oh, I'm sure you two would get along very well. He's actually a gold dragonborn, much like you.
Well, he's copper, but
Dragonborn. Yeah.
not golden
also
dragonborn. Not many I've seen of that, even from Draconia.
Well, he is quite far out in the boonies, much like myself. I grew up within Dragon's Peak, you see.
Oh, Dragon's Keep. I had heard tales of a dragon keeping this city safe at least hundreds of years ago. Is the dragon still around?
Yes, quite so.
Oh, it's good to hear. It's good to hear he's been such a protective fellow. I suppose if he was not a chromatic, he would be very much more, willing to help people. So I imagine he must be one of the metallic variety.
Yes, golden Metallica, almost the most loyal of the metallics, from what I can tell.
And he kind of looks at you and like chuckles. Well, very coincidental, and he like kind of points to the golden scales on your own body.
Yes, my father has definitely passed on some traits.
I could see that.
Well, the dragon now prefers to dwell in a more different form amongst the mortals. It seems to bring them at ease.
Oh yes, I've heard many tales of dragons polymorphing into different forms to watch over people, or even interact with them, just because many are terrified of a large, leathery winged creature that flies over above them.
Especially one that is almost over 50 feet tall.
Oh yes, that kind of thing would terrify a lot of people.
Well, he is a very pleasant person once you get to know him.
Oh, it's good to hear.
Yes.
Hopefully one day I might even meet him myself.
Well, if you ever come visit Dragon's Keep, I'm certain you will. I'm sure he would be delighted to speak with a fellow practitioner of the arcane.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yes, I'm certain
Now then,
he himself also has many stories to tell.
Well, that would be a very interesting fellow to talk to indeed, then. And, he kind of, ruffles through more of his papers. Now, I believe you had said you wanted to learn some more, learn some things. I suppose I could help you study with me, though, once I can get across, I usually take around a 3-day study period. It's very intensive, but I suggest, I believe you would learn quite a few things, even.
Oh yes, I have 3 days, certainly. I'm certain some of my friends have already come up with plans for themselves. Although, I do have tonight. I did promise to go meet with someone. So, well, she is quite busy, so I'm certain that a bit of extra time would not be too bad for her to wait.
That is up to you. It does. I'm typically up all hours of the day and night. I sleep, but not as much as you'd believe. And he kind of like yawns as he says that.
He says, "Have you ever heard of this thing called coffee? It helps with those who cannot get much sleep."
Fuck's sake.
You know how to do it.
I know you did, because you do it all the time, my boy.
Yep. Yep.
Well then, if it's nothing else, we could get started right away.
Ah, yes, please.
And
I would love to.
also, as you're talking to him, you hear a door open up behind you, and you turn around to take notice to a halfling standing there. "Oh, Mr. Stormseer, I'm back." "Oh, Cade, it's very good to see you again." Mr. Liebe, was it?
Yes.
This is Cade Underborough. He's been helping me keep things slightly more organized around here.
Oh, it is very nice to meet you.
And very nice to meet you too. And you see this halfling, he just has pretty normal clothing on, and he wears gloves of a strangely white color, almost as if they are kept methodically clean. And
Probably use prestidigitation.
I was just talking to Mr. Liebe here, and I was going to teach him a few things. Yes, I know how Mr. Stormseer likes to teach. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Oh, yes, very good. We'll see you later, Mr. Underborough. And Cade leaves the room. A fine fellow. Bit strange, but halflings sometimes are.
Well, he seems quite kind.
Now then, are you willing to begin?
Yes, certainly.
So,
although, if it were alright with you, I would like to, he just names like a certain time, I would like to be able to go visit this friend of mine. I had made a small appointment with her that I would speak with her about some research that I had done.
Well, all right then. But I'll be here waiting. Well,
of course.
I don't know if waiting's the right word, but I'll definitely be here among my books.
Thank you, sir. Very kind of you.
Well, see you much later then, I suppose. And he returns back to ruffling through his papers. Oh, God damn it! Where did I leave that thing?
Just
kind of mumbling to himself as you make your way out.
Like I often do.
Yes, as often is done.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I gotta get going. So if you guys want to continue on, I'll listen to the rest of the podcast later.
Yeah, we'll finish up with what Liebe is doing, and then we'll continue not next week.
Yeah.
Because that is, like I said, I had to move my day. The 30th is when we'll continue.
Okay. That's perfect timing on Ryan's part, because I was about to just type on the server that I was probably going to go after that, because it's already past midnight here, almost 1 a.m. And I'm going to do something else.
It's almost 3 for me, so...
We can always chill and watch Red vs. Blue or something, Void. If you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I'll talk to you guys not next week, but the week after then.
Yep, talk to you on the 30th.
Talk to you next year, Ryan.
Yeah.
Anyway, alright, so now Liebe is making his way back to Phantasma with its
New sign.
the new sign that has been vandalized by Apsilon's Echo.
Has it not been changed yet?
No.
Fuck.
Nobody's been outside to take notice to this, other than maybe a few snickers here and there from the passerbys.
I can't even change it. That's probably the worst part.
I don't know. You haven't even tried.
Yeah, I can't use prestidigitation or thaumaturgy. Sad.
Yeah, because that's really more of changing, making colors and marks for only an hour. So no, it's been vandalized, and you imagine has yet to taken notice to such a thing.
Yeah. So I will walk into the store. Hopefully, no one else.
And okay, actually, give me 1 second. I need to use the bathroom again. So pause.
All right.
All right. So you've decided to go back to Fat Ass Man or Fat Man Ass.
The beautifully renamed
I'm
shop.
gonna just keep calling it Fat Ass Man because it just rolls off the tongue so well.
The fat ass man, even though there's not only one skinny dude
It's
inside
Fat Man
the
Ass.
ship.
I know, Void, but the thing is, it's been coming off that way in my head, so I keep saying it.
Then we just have fucking the only two people that have been inside that have worked there so far are one skinny dude and one thick chick. That's about it.
Not many people can say they've been inside a fat man's ass.
Void, please.
Oh, Void, good friend.
You're not wrong, but I hate that you're not wrong.
The unfortunate truth of how this is now currently already being recorded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, you're entering, and you notice, Serenity, she's actually outside of her, curtain this time, and just standing there as if she's waiting for more customers. Oh, Liebe, good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Are all your friends coming in behind you this time?
No, don't worry. Two of them, I'm pretty sure, gone into the forest, and Apsilon is training some people, from what I could tell.
Oh, these knights could use some better training. It's good to see somebody's taking care of it.
Yes, and I'm certain they're in good hands with him. He's quite talented.
Now then, I believe you had something to discuss with me earlier?
Yes, I've done some research on so many forms of the practitioner of arcane, and, well, the way that these rubies might possibly work. Now,
Very well. I'd be interested to know.
I will just go up to her. If she has any place to sit, I'll go sit there, and I'll just talk with her about.
You're both
like,
basically
my
going to be,
theories.
like, leaning over this counter that's in the middle of shop.
Yeah. And I just start explaining to her, like, my theories on the way that the weave works and the practice, the many forms of practice of the arcane, and how his theories on how this ruby might possibly channel magic.
And as you're explaining all this, she's watching and just kind of silently nodding along. Well, it seems that you are quite the researcher yourself.
Yes,
Reminds me a lot of what I imagine Mr. Stormseer would be like in his younger days.
well,
Hopefully you are a little more organized than him, and she kind of laughs to herself.
I think by the amount of, well, other things that you can see within the spellbook, I don't think I'm starting to warm up to that kind of reputation so far.
I see.
Well, I'm certain. Well, my father has taught me well, at least. Especially when it comes to theorizing. Oh, the man has too much spare time. Even for his age.
That's very nice to know that you'd have such a relationship with your parents then.
They've been, well, most of the only people that I've really been contacting with most of my life. I've been within my own home for quite a large chunk of my own life until I became around the age of, let's say, 12. Then I started to head outside and mostly just practice. It's also how I got this, and he points towards the scar on his eye.
Well, I guess the the being a sheltered child really tells a lot of why your personality is like it is. And she just kind of smiles in a almost devilish way.
He just kind of blushes.
He's been mocked. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If anything, though, it's given me much time to study many, many things, and it's quite fun. It's quite nice to know things as such. For instance, and he uses prestidigitation to completely clean the counter.
And she just kind of looks, well, I guess it could get cleaner. Didn't expect that. Thank you.
Magic.
And,
If you would like, I could teach you that.
maybe another time. I have also been training with Mr. Stormseer a few different times. More for, I suppose you could call it self-defense.
Understandably so. I mean, with the idiots, with the people that I've brought in these past 2 times that I've been here, I'm not surprised that you feel the need to defend yourself.
You've certainly been the most interesting group I've dealt with.
I can see that.
But as long as you all make an effort not to threaten me again, I suppose we can have a good customer relationship.
Well, I know that I won't. I don't have any reason to.
Good. Now then, is there anything else I could help you with tonight? Before I take myself to bed?
Second. Wait, I was actually wondering, like, when it comes to magic items, if I ever needed anything.
The only stuff that I've ever worried about you needing are, like, the stuff that says it costs whatever.
Yeah. He just says, actually, if anything, there was one thing that I'd been wondering. Is there any such thing as an item that would allow one to become more evasive than others of our kind? Or of my practitioner, at least.
She kind of, like, cocks her head to the side. Whatever do you mean by that?
Well, there are many forms of attack that require me to perform some type of dexterous motion to dodge out of the way. Do you perhaps have anything that could help me with such?
And she kind of ponders upon what you're asking. No, unfortunately, I don't believe I have something like that at the moment. Maybe an interesting find if I do, though. Unfortunately, magical items are a lot more rare to come across than you'd think, and quite expensive when I do come across them. Magic is not as commonplace as it could be, but it's getting there.
I'd actually thought that you made most of these items yourself.
I dabble, but a lot are found. I've been trying to work in the bit of magic that Mr. Gamdry Stonefist had tried teaching me, but artificering is not really my strong suit.
I'm sure you'll find something that truly fits. That's all. We have enough time, don't we?
Well, at least ways I get my potions made, so at least ways my healing ones. Trying to learn others, but let's just say I've had to clean the shop more than a few times due to experimentation of my own.
If you would ever require me to come and help with the cleanup, I can always help. After all, I've gotten quite used to cleaning up after both myself and my friends due to the mess that we make.
And she kind of smiles. And what would you really get out of that?
Mostly just knowing that you yourself are at least a bit more comfortable with your living situation.
And she just kind of raises an eyebrow at you, but doesn't really respond to that comment.
Well, I don't really need anything out of you. It's mostly that I'm not like Muffin. I don't want to bargain over things that I'm willing to provide. I don't require much.
I see. Well then, as I said, I am going to try to get myself turned in for the night, unless you might need... I do have a few potions for purchase yet. At least the ones for healing, if you ever need it.
I'd actually used one of those in the field due to a certain friend of mine not knowing how to space his attacks. You can see him get physically a little bit frustrated.
And she just kind of laughs a little bit to herself. Well, I'm sure he's an interesting fellow.
It was the Dragonborn man.
Oh.
Yes.
I can see that.
Thunder hurts. I
Well,
almost died.
it's good to see these potions have kept you among the land of the living. So perhaps you might need another one for your,
Yes, please.
Well, as I've said, it is very expensive to make these things. So they are 50 gold apiece. If you have such gold to spare.
I just slide her the 50 gold.
And she puts one vial of that bright red liquid down in front of you. Well, I think this is the first purchase you've ever made.
Surprisingly so, yes. First time I've had this much money in my life.
I can imagine. Well, I can at least say that's a good, successful purchase.
Yes, I'm certain this will come
So,
in.
hopefully you'll continue bringing the money my way.
Well, I'm certain that I will. It's been very nice talking with you. You should go get some rest.
I intend to. And she kind of bows her head lightly and walks her way back through the curtain, and you hear from the back, "A good night to you, Liebe."
Night to you too, Serenity.
And you don't hear anything else from the back.
Yeah. I will then walk back towards Stormseer to continue my studying. And on the way, as he walks out, he just has like a mini celebration of, yes, finally! I've had a normal conversation with this person.
With a person.
With anyone!
But yeah, so
Mother,
you
if
go.
only you could see me now.
Yeah, so you go back to Stormseer and start your studying. And over the course of those days, he teaches you a few things that you might have already known about dragons, but about their different
Types.
you've heard much from your father about them, but he teaches you of the different types of chromatic dragons that exist, and how to keep in mind that whatever element you take notice of them using, that they are very much immune to that type of damage. Was it immune or was it resistant?
Yeah, usually it's immune when it comes to the ancients.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly if the one I'm thinking
what
of.
What was I gonna say again? Oh yeah, he did send a letter to his mother. Does the familiar return?
So far, it hasn't. Well, actually, yeah. Over the course of you are while you're doing all of that, your familiar does manage to find you.
Huh. Does he just fly into the studying chamber?
More or less.
It's like, wait. Ah, hello again, Lucy. Did you find her?
It just kind of makes whatever bird sounds owls make.
Does he have a little... Oh wait, I can speak telepathically with him. Does he...
I forget. Does it actually like talk? Or is it?
I
I
think
forget how Find Familiar actually works with that. I don't remember if it's
so.
I love when this app doesn't totally work how I want to.
You can communicate with it telepathically. That's all it says.
Yeah, it basically, your familiar does tell you that he found your parents and delivered the letter, and they didn't, at least at the time, they didn't send a letter back, but they wish you well and hope to see you again soon.
It's good to hear. Did they look like they were doing well?
The familiar says that as far as it was aware, everything was going just fine.
It's good to know. Thank you. You've done well.
And as you continue your studies, he teaches you a little bit about the tiny little lizards that believe themselves to be descendant of dragons known as kobolds, and how they are, much like goblins, very tricky, but they seem to have more of an affinity for building than goblins do.
They're like almost little reptilian and crafty versions of goblins, you would say.
Yes, I suppose you could say that. They are very, very nasty when they can be. Especially, they know how to work together very well. And he continues on talking to you about different things with dragons and with kobolds. Some of their the background of that they hate gnomes and are looking to free their god that was trapped by a gnome god. And during your studies, you find a slip of paper that was jammed into one of his books, and you show him it, and he offers to teach you the spell. And as you concentrate and spend the rest of your time trying to learn the spell, you manage to get a hold of it, and you learn the spell, Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Oh boy! Wait a minute. One sec, let me check something. Spellbook.
I didn't think you already had it, at least.
I did. I
know you had
it.
the brew.
Had Tasha's Hideous Laughter, it's in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have it.
Shit.
Spellbook.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
I'm trying to look at... I'm in the wrong page, that would help.
Look at this.
I'm trying
It's
to...
a nice spellbook.
there we go. There it's hiding.
Spellbook.
Jesus Christ, I forgot how many there are. Okay, I'm gonna pause.
Fair.
Alright, well, considering now I figured out a different one, I am going to be a little bit nice and grant you Scorching Ray.
Oh yeah.
Laser beams.
Woo!
Alright, so yes,
I would like to
in
test that.
a fairly well-controlled environment, Stormseer teaches you how to harness rays of fire that you could use against the targets of at least 120 feet away.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And-
yeah, Batman.
And as he finishes up his teaching of you, he informs you that he needs to step out for a few days, so he'll see you again. He'll hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah. I will see you again soon, my friend. Thank you for everything.
Of course, my boy, you're an excellent student.
Thank you. You're an excellent teacher.
Well, I don't know about all that. And he just kind of laughs to himself as he walks off to get to his business.
Very pleasant gentleman. Fuck, I should have told Father about him. Oh, those two would probably ramble on to each other for days. Actually, wouldn't be surprised if they could.
So now what are you going to do now that you are free from your,
Yes, what are my dipshit friends? Where are those dipshits that I refer to as friends?
Well, as, you make your way out there, you notice, you do see Apsilon making his way back towards the center of town, and he seems, just from the way he's walking, you can feel that he has a sense of pride in something he's done.
Hello there, Apsilon. Let's see if Void is still here.
I know he's here. He's talking about how he was fucking me over
What?
in Barotrauma.
Yeah.
For a very short period, we're going to, I'd said Apsilon shows up in town.
There's just a little bit of them seeing each other again, and then just head to the tavern, and then we call it the session.
Gotcha.
Or wherever they decide to go.
Yeah. Ah, hello there, Apsilon. How have you been?
I wave at him, very friendly.
Very friendly.
You seem quite happy. Something happened.
I say nothing by gesturing.
They just gestured like what happened, what you've been doing.
Oh yeah, actually, I kind of forgot. Yeah, he's happy because he trained the soldiers. I kind of already forgot about the soldiers.
Yes. He's happy because he did some he helped train some people. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I literally just rolled 2 20s with these metal dice on an off chance. What the
Well,
fuck?
good thing you didn't roll those when the enemies were fighting us.
Yeah, I know. I was doing so fucking terrible with rolls. So I guess are you guys not knowing exactly where the other two are, decide to go on your merry way to the tavern to sleep?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you pay for your room, which I forget what the fuck the price was on that. Because I am not mentally... I'm mentally
Okay,
hit.
hold on. I need to go to D&D Beyond to remove the money.
So... where was it? Yeah, so it was only 5 silver. So you can take that from, and during this time before you decide to sleep, you take notice you have not seen Ildrad or Muffin at all. But you imagine they're probably up to no good.
Could we be worried? Can I say that to Apsilon?
Wait, you said should we be worried?
Should we be worried?
I nod.
Well, yes. Ah, well, guess we can't really do anything about it now. I think we should probably go look for them tomorrow in the forest.
I put a hand to my chin because I remember hearing some lightning and cheering on the forest.
Yes, as he's did.
So I nod towards him.
I mean, yeah, you were out. You took him out to took soldiers out to the forest and stuff. So you probably heard some drinking and making merry. You just didn't pay much attention to it because there was things to be done.
They're so
Yeah.
goddamn drunk, probably.
I had to grind the levels on those peasants.
Beautiful. Well, that was fun.
I guess with that, I'll call that our session for the night.